bet you.
Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Been running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G, Swan and Jules in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate in the end zone. We don't got no time in the wait. H-Town run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game going to overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first at the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine. Can I get second? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. H-Town the home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king. What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Rundown. This is your boy AD, and I got my co-hosts in the building. We got Jules, we got Mike G, we got Auntie Swan, we got Exo Intro, special guest Exo Intro in the building. Y'all already know we're starting. Y'all don't know, but we know. We're starting a 5-part series talking about that's going to lead up to the draft, and we're starting with the most polarizing topic. We're going to talk about it. And that's the offensive line for the Houston Texans. But the Houston Texans got busy. Houston Texans have been busy, have been making moves, have been doing their damn thing. Like Larry Payton is saying, Casario is cooking with propane gas. DQ Nick is cooking today. Frank Z. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, man. The future looking bright for sure, DQ. Hey, breaking news. Breaking news, and we're going to talk about it. The Houston Texans have extended Danielle Hunter with a 1-year extension worth up to $35.6 million.
Mm-hmm.
What's the guarantee on that, Mike G?
Guarantee most of it, damn near all of it. Similar to Stingley.
Yep. Again. Yeah, Mike, I thought you had that, man. You can't.
I did. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, here's the deal.
Stop touching shit.
Yeah, here's the deal. The Texans have agreed to a 1-year extension for $35.6 million. That'll make him the second highest paid defensive end per sources. Hunter will make $32 million this year, a $12.5 million raise, and a $55.1 million, with $54.1 million being fully guaranteed over the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, I mean, he had 25 guaranteed this year. So
right. So that's why they bumped up $12 million to say, hey, man, we love you. You're an H-Town guy. We love your past racial winning situations. We love you as a defensive end. We're gonna go forward, and we're gonna make you the second highest paid defensive player of all time.
There you go.
What are y'all quick? Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say from front of the pod, Tom Pelissero with that news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a commitment right there. What you got, Jules?
Oh no, that's a good layup that we cited our sources.
Yeah,
you cited them. Oh, okay. So we won't get dinged, huh?
That's right. No, Facebook be tripping sometime, and YouTube be tripping sometime. They gotta make sure we give credit where credit's due. So what do y'all think about the extension?
No, it's a very interesting extension. To be honest, I don't know how many years he had left on his actual contract.
This was his last year.
This was last year. So they just trying to shore up one of the defensive end positions heading into this season and possibly next season. In the words of Mike in the group chat, it's another Casario 2-piece special.
There you go.
But
this is fully guaranteed.
It's fully guaranteed. Say that again, Swan, man. So
yeah, they ain't a special if you're fully guaranteed, because you can do a 4-year deal, and I mean you spread it out, but no, you can't do 2 years.
So I think this just shores up that position. Yeah, I'm not on the fence about it. I just want to see if he will keep up the same production for the next 2 years. He is getting on that tail end of his career. He's going to get He's going to be at the end of career sooner than he is starting off his career, if you get what I'm saying. But hopefully he's able to keep up the production. I know we all have problems with Daniil at certain points in the season, saying, "Hey, we were supposed this is our what's his name for the John? Is this our Jonathan Grenard replacement?" We're seeing Jonathan Grenard at the beginning of the season have that giant burst of sacks, but then slowly but surely we started seeing Daniil get his feet back under him, get really acclimated into the system, and started to vibe and bode well for with our guys on the D line. So hopefully this just shores up that edge position. But we'd like to know, we'd just like to just see how he will fend off the next like 2 years, 3 years.
I'm sorry, so I'm sorry.
Hey, that's a wild one.
I'm sorry, bro.
That's a wild one.
I know Democrats who mad about that shit.
What? What are we talking about?
That's a wild ass comment, but
oh, please.
That nigga, he's 100%.
Anybody know off the top of the head how old? How old he is?
30 years.
He'll be 30. He'll be 30.
He'll be 31 mid-season.
Okay.
He's 30 now.
So we got him up to his 33.
Hold on. So we've watched other players still keep while we are assuming
She talking about
be on the tail. Huh? Am I echoing or something?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no. My thing is, this was his first year in this system, getting his feet. I mean, with D'Amico, and we saw that previously. The second season, guys look a lot different playing his system. I thought, like you said, towards the tail end or mid-tail end season, everything picked up. I expect for him to come in here and pick up right where he is. I just think it's a very good 1-2 punch for him and Will. I don't have a problem with the $55 million that he's getting for 2 years. It's this year, next year. Hopefully you are drafting his replacement this year or next year. And you just can't continue to,
next year.
So go ahead, Swan. We'll finish.
You know, when you do that, you throw off a train of thought. I hate you. No, the reason why is that I'm looking at the comments as well.
Go ahead, Eddie. Finish. Go ahead. You thought.
So, to all the people that said Will Anderson is going to get $30 million when he gets his extension, I think not, my friend.
You're getting that.
Oh
no. He's getting 40 plus.
If it was always, no matter what you did with Hunter, he was gonna get.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't. That's why this Hunter contract just shows people that was saying he was gonna get 30 or 32 or 30, even 35. That like, come on, be realistic.
Hey, can you put Brandon's
I'm
on there real quick?
Hey, Larry, you got to spell swarm right. There you go. Fix it.
There you go.
What are you talking about? This one?
No. When you said we didn't have money for that one.
Oh yeah.
You went through a bag at a busted guard tackle that went to a guard and giving the bag off of one season. Come on, bro. We got to do better than that.
Hold up. His thing is, played with 4 of the best guys there are, and playing for the best O-line coach there is.
Come on, man.
Because I guarantee you, I won't say guarantee. He is not going to look exactly the same with the Chargers that he did with the Eagles, because the Chargers don't have. They got one other guy, Joe Alt.
They got Slater.
But the other 3 guys on that line ain't the Eagles.
So
I'm gonna give you examples. It's like Trent Brown going to the Raiders.
Right, but he looked good when he was with the Patriots.
That's right.
But you had Stanecki.
So this is the thing. They're not asking Becton to play tackle.
He don't see that guard, but he doesn't still have the other pieces. But that's
right. But that's the point, is that Becton is trying to, I don't know. I really don't give a damn about Mekhi Becton. I'm just being honest with
Well,
you.
some folks were
It is
stuck
what-
on Mekhi Becton, and
Because he's a goddamn name. I'm sorry, Brandon, but that's all he is at this point. He's a
to me,
name
George
that people
Sand
know.
should have been the one you would want, because you know what he looked like on O-line, because he was here CJ's rookie year. You can say I seen what he looked like.
Hold on. Hey, we got
Becton-
too much Texas
Oh.
news to go.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Gotcha.
We
Yeah,
going down
yeah.
a rabbit hole.
Right.
We're going down a whole rabbit
Well, you know,
hole.
you get folks like Brandon.
Yeah,
you know.
but you we got just like Twitter.
It's my fault. It's my fault. I
And
did.
You saying put him on mute. You know,
Yeah, he
mute the
got-
convo. Is that
he
what
got
you
me.
saying?
Man, Brandon good, but also the Texans weren't done today. This was just the latest news that happened, but they also earlier signed left tackle Cam Robinson to a 1-year, $12 million deal up to $14.5 million to solidify the offensive tackle position for our Houston Texans. What are y'all thoughts on? We got one more bit of news, and I think it's a big major thing that we got to talk about. But
Right.
y'all stuck on goddamn Cam Robinson all day. Go ahead, and Daniil Hunter and talking about Mekhi Becton. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm good with the signing. I mean, everybody still know you need interior O-line. Now, whether or not you go tackle early versus go in the second or third round, I think you've given yourself options now. You don't have to ultimately reach to get a guy. So I like it. And even if he's just depth piece, let's keep in mind what happened last year. We lost guys. So we got to prepare for injuries. And the one thing everybody got upset about was when we're in camp and we went into the season, we didn't feel like the Texans addressed depth with the O-line coming into the season. Am I correct? Do y'all remember that way?
Mm-hmm.
So even I don't take all these signings though. Oh, these are the guys that go be week 1. Good. A couple of these guys be week 1, yes. But if anything, they're depth.
Well, I'm confused now because I thought two of these cats were going to be day one starters. I know Cam Robinson is day one starter. I don't know where Howard's going to play. I don't know where Lincoln's going to play. I don't know where.
Are they? Because according to D'Amico,
Cam Robinson,
it ain't how you get on the team. It is how you perform. So if the young guy is playing better, that's
Swan. You're not paying a guy up to $14 million at his natural position, not to start left tackle.
Okay, but if the rookie actually just happened, let's say it's Kevin Banks, and then we'll move real quick. Let's say you draft Kevin Banks. If Kevin Banks looks better than Cam Robinson in camp, Cam Robinson is Banks will start. Now we can sit here later on and complain about, oh damn, we spent $12 million on a depth piece, but you're going to put the best 5 out there to protect your quarterback. Nobody thought that Masker and Bullock was going to be the starters coming into the season. We knew at some point they'd be on the field together. We didn't think they were both would be starters immediately.
Okay, so here's the question is,
okay,
when they drafting and they have a best player available and a bigger need than tackle, you still think they're going Kevin Banks regardless?
If this is just my opinion.
Okay.
If Kevin Banks, I'm not saying here, this is me. I think wide receiver is back on the table as being that first pick of 25. However, let's say Kevin Banks falls to 17, 18, 19. Oh, I think they will pick up the phone and make a deal.
So you would trade up, even though that's okay.
For that position,
I'm definitely. We're gonna disagree on that all day long.
No,
you only got so many picks.
Okay, we're gonna get another tangent. We can say that for later on conversation. Next, AD, because we're gonna get on a tangent.
Yeah, because I think there's a bigger needs at this point. You got 3 tackles on the roster at this point right now.
Hold up, but nobody is here more than a year other than maybe maybe.
But don't them signing these kind of guys and getting down there tell you they're going for it this year and next year?
No, but if these were 2-year deals they were signing, I would agree with you. But we're right back where we was last year, again this year when you do the 1 year thing. You're back to, I got 20 plus free agents. Now I got to build out this roster. If we're to build continuity with the O-line, I need to know you got guys that are going to be here more than one season.
Okay, we're gonna agree to disagree.
I don't think that's the case. I think Cam Robinson is a stopgap player, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. And so why would I not, if I have opportunity to draft a tackle
So
that falls?
Well, this is the thing, because I know we're gonna talk about it later. I don't think that this is a super deep tackle draft. I think Exo said it on the space earlier. This is a deep tweener draft. Versatile guys that can play both guard and tackle, like a tweener guy. But if you want, I'm gonna say this: my left tackle needs to be a left tackle, left tackle only. I don't need you. Oh, he can play guard. Oh, he can do this, and that. So if that's the case, and that's what a lot of these guys are, because I think the guys that we would potentially be able to get are probably not going to be there, other than outside of Josh Simmons, and we have to see what the pro day looks like. So, because if he's struggling in that pro day, now you just go ahead and mark him off,
right?
And now you go to next year.
Right.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
What's news, AD?
Hold on. One comment. Brother, you got the order of events wrong. They signed Cam Robinson, then Golden came. So either way. They had, just so you know, signings like that happened a day early. So they had already signed, had the framework of a contract already worked out for Cam Robinson before Matthew Golden even came into the building. Pause.
You know what? Come on, man.
What was that? What was that he said?
Pause. He's talking about the Casario trade and free agency.
No, I'm trying to see where. Okay, I'm trying. No, you keep going. I just need to scroll to see what he said.
Yeah, Larry, that's very true.
Yeah.
I think he tries to have. Well, I'm just gonna speak to that.
Yeah, you don't want everybody to know what you're gonna do.
No, it's mostly you don't want to go into the draft having to reach or having to draft for need. You want to go into a draft like, hey, if this player falls or these group of players fall at this section that we're at, we are comfortable choosing an array of players. Or if we get into the draft and hey, the guys we wanted at the specific position is not available, we're okay. We can be serviceable for the rest of the year with the guys we have on roster. So yeah, that's very true, Larry.
So the last piece of news, we haven't talked about. I think it's the biggest news because we talk about the Neil Hunter getting paid, but this is the most important, biggest news is that Derek Stingley got his contract extension, 3 years, $90 million. Huh?
You did that wrong. All pro Sting.
Put respect on that boy name, man.
Yeah.
All pro Derek Stingley got his contract 3 years, $90 million with $89 million guaranteed. And look who decides to show up on seat time.
I actually do work. I don't know if y'all know that.
What did I say? What did I say earlier?
I took a pause. Look, I work too. I took a pause from my full-time job. And I said, I'm coming here to give the fans what they want, the people what they want. They want Texan news and they want Texan talk, and I'm giving them Texan talk on the H-Town Rundown.
Well, I'm not a part of the H-Town
Rundown. How you doing, Big Sarge?
I'm just a guest. Hold on. I'm just a guest on H-Town Rundown, but I'm a permanent guest on the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show and that Texans Happy Hour and the Locked On Texans podcast. Jules,
are you plugging?
Wait, hold on.
Hey, are you plugging?
Do you know what AD does every day when I'm on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's free.
You only plug one. You plug all three of yours.
Wait, hold on.
It's free advertisement. I got you. I was going to introduce you.
I'm going to mess with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, y'all welcome, of course, Big Sarge from Big Sarge Media. Y'all also know Big Sarge Sports on YouTube and Locked On Texans podcast Monday through Friday, wherever you get your podcast. Where you can find them.
Hey, Sarge.
Stop all that.
Hey, Sarge. And also, come back.
Friend of the pod. Big Sarge is in the building.
Yeah. You gotta do that shit right. There we go.
I am doing it
You
right.
got it
I gotta.
Man,
Big Sarge
Nah,
media. Y'all.
it's
chaos.
backwards.
This is
It's
chaos.
Hey, look, I'll put this one on. Hey, look.
No,
Hey,
no,
look, this one.
no. I'm talking
Hold
about
on.
the right one.
Hey, this is when I'm doing the show for free.
Oh,
This is when I'm getting paid.
no, not that one. I'm not talking about that one.
Yeah. Gonna put that real one back on.
No.
Hey,
I'm
look,
not talking about that hat.
what hat?
That's not the right hat.
The one with the H on it?
Oh hell yeah, that's the
no,
one.
I got rid of that one. That wasn't no real hat. That
What?
was like it was too floppy. It wouldn't sit up. I couldn't get it.
Why
to
you
sit
didn't tell me? You
Swan,
No,
Swan, we're not about to have a segment about this goddamn hat.
We ain't talking about no hat. We ain't about to
well,
waste
good. I
not
can put the
1
red
minute
hat
talking
back
about no
on.
hat.
Hey, look.
No,
I'm
hey,
sorry,
you keep going tangents.
I'm sorry, it's the girl in me. It's the girl in me.
Hey, wait.
Forgive me.
Wait, hold on. Time out. First of all,
Don't start.
hey, look, they got rid of DEI, so I gotta come on here and say hello to White Mike first. Hello, White Mike. How you doing?
Good. How about you, Sarge?
I'm doing great. And now, not only do I have to talk to White Mike because DEI gone, I got to talk to Jules because he got him a white woman when he came back from Iowa. Hey, Jules, how you doing? What a white woman at, Jules?
Whoa.
Back in Indiana, where she was.
Oh, Indiana.
Hey,
Indiana,
it's not with an eye. It's not with an eye.
Wisconsin, they
That's
all
the
the
I
same.
ended A. Get your facts straight.
Hey, so
Hey man, first of all, thank y'all for having me, man. I really appreciate it, brother.
absolutely. Thank you for joining us because we got a little beef to cook. But before we get started on that,
for sure, because I want to talk about this Timu Laramie Tunsil that Nick just signed.
Hey, we just talked about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Oh yeah. What did you say? You liked it, AD?
I don't disagree. Why would I disagree on this? He's a solid tackle, but I don't want to go backwards. Let's move forward, and we'll circle back.
I'm playing catch up. I mean, one of the things that you talked about was the penalties with Laramie Tunsil in the 19. Cam had 13.
Okay.
That's improvement.
That's improvement.
Y'all are killing me right now. Y'all killing me right now.
Hold up, did I make no? Hold up,
got on here?
Hold up. Did we make him the highest paid tackle twice?
Hey, look, hold on.
No. You
okay, go ahead, Swan.
I'm asking. Can you ask that question? Did we make him the highest paid left tackle twice?
Yes.
All right, then. Did we make Cam Robinson the highest paid left tackle?
You gave him you guys gave him up to 14 and $14.5 million.
No. It's up to. He got to earn that. It's 12.
Okay, well, 12 is still too much.
No, excuse me. Did I make him?
What Luther Vandross say?
Never too much.
Never too
hold
much.
on. Let me ask you a question.
Hold up.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold up. When I make you the highest paid left tackle, and my guy is getting hit 63 fucking times,
it wasn't because of Laramie.
He was the goddamn C on this shit. No mind. I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna go off on a tangent. Sorry.
He played. He gave up 2.5 sacks for the whole season.
AD's role. That's okay. You and AD need to talk.
Cam Robinson gave up 7. You know what? Hey, AD, who else got in here? Because I can't see.
So you got Exo Intro, you got Swan, you got
Sarge.
Mike
G, man, how you doing?
That's a great introduction right there. Great introduction.
Yeah, AD, because AD be coming on my live being all horny and stuff.
I don't come in hot. You came in hot.
No, you come in horny, not hot. You come in.
Like you had something to prove today.
All right, I'm ready to act. I'm
ready
to act right.
I got some stuff to say, but I'm gonna let you.
Oh, you want to act right when you drink out the purple cup?
No, I ain't got no cups. I
ain't talking about you.
Oh. That little purple cup.
Yeah. Of course, since Sarge wants to rehash it.
Come on,
Cam Robinson signed with the Texans for 1 year, $12 million deal, upwards up to $14.5 million with incentives. Houston Texans are doing everything they can to upgrade the room of the offensive line.
Get some damn dogs up in there.
Some may not like it. Some may not like it because, see, me and Sarge have this beef with talking about Laramie Tunsil and his importance to the offensive line room and how Laramie Tunsil's money was a major factor, and yet the Texans said, I don't give
Yeah,
a
okay.
damn.
Yeah, you right. It was a major
I don't
factor. It's a
give a
major factor. You got a dude out there worried about being a
Hold on,
fashionista.
Swan.
Damn, Swan.
Let me know when it's my. Let me know when it's my turn. I
Hold on,
promise you.
'cause-
I will defer until you say, Sarge, it's your turn. So I promise you, I'm gonna
So,
sit right here. I'm not gonna
you know,
butt in.
They signed Cam Robinson, and they also extended Derek Stingley with a 3-year, $90 million deal with $89 million guaranteed. Guess what? I love it.
And
And I want to get everybody's thoughts on it because I left that for last because I feel like that was the most important news.
they extended
Since
and they
we
restructured.
last. Hold on. The H-Town Rundown in last live stream was last Wednesday. We're talking about stuff that happened. We don't have the privilege of going live every day on Big Sarge Media on YouTube and X and all the social media platforms. So we're trying to play catch up like you were playing catch up when you came on the live.
AD, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with us talking about Derek Stingley, not at all. But just like I said on the Texans Happy Hour, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the Texans pissing on Derek Stingley's day by talking about signing Cam Robinson. That's not a big enough signing to talk about when you're talking about the best defensive back to ever play for the franchise. You hold that Cam Robinson news until tomorrow, or if you're going to extend to Neil Hunter, you put that in with Derek Stingley. You don't talk about a guy who was suspended for PEDs. You know what?
We brought back Mario Edwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was the Neil Hunter.
They was already on the team.
Thank you, Corey.
Sarge, he got signed yesterday. What the hell?
So Derek Stingley extended 3 years, $90 million deal, $89 million guaranteed. Basically, fully guaranteed deal. I love it. Derek Stingley, highest paid corner in the league, as rightfully so. All pro Derek Stingley. I love it. I want to hear Jules and Mike and Swan and Exo's thoughts on it because, Sarge is, saying we, pissing in Derek Stingley cereal.
I mean, the
I love the deal.
2 days ago.
One at a time, guys.
I love the deal. One is, unlike other teams, we didn't pussyfoot around with our guy. We didn't even wait till after the draft or June or just before camp. We locked him up in March. We rewarded him. He earned it. So I have no problem with it. And being 89 million is 1 million short of the fully guaranteed. And I think that's probably because of the owners, because they don't like really giving new guys on fully guaranteed contracts, I guess. But I don't know. But I have no problem with it. He earned it.
Mike G, what you got?
Yeah, I mean that's a solid point. Unlike a team in Ohio and another team in Texas, we don't wait until the last minute to try to extend our key guys. We get ahead of the curve.
I try not to be ugly.
Pro, Derek Stingley, who has established himself as the top corner in the league. And that was the thing pre-draft too. Was like we knew he was super talented. Could he stay healthy? And last year he did. And my God, I mean, there wasn't a receiver in the league that was like, oh crap, I got to go up against Sting. So I'm happy we got it done. At the initial, for a minute, I was like, 3 years. What are we doing? And I was like, oh wait, no, that's 2 more years on top of that. So that's a 5-year deal. Yeah, we're good. So I'm happy with it.
Exo, you got something to say?
Yeah, I love the deal. Shout out to Derek Stingley Jr. for being one of the greatest DBs in Texans history. Pretty easy to see his greatness. I like the fact that we got this deal. I love the fact that we got this deal done before McDuffie and Sauce Gardner was up to bat to get their deals, because I know whenever McDuffie or Sauce gets their deal, I knew Stingley would have to be over those deals. So I'm glad we got in line and got our meal first, and to get that out the way, just like the Nico Collins deal as well. Go ahead and get that out the way before all these other receivers start moving up that ceiling. And thank you, not thank you. Shout out to Derek Stingley for being just a great guy, great leader.
You can thank him. Okay.
Thank you to Derek Stingley for being a great leader, great guy, great player, and just a
leader.
Jesus Christ. And overall,
that's the word of the podcast.
Football player. So
I need to pull out that clip about a leader.
Just praying for everybody should just pray for his health and pray for his longevity, because I would
pray for
the
black
more he's
women
on the field, Jesus, the more he's on the field, the more he get able to prove himself. So shout out to Derek Stingley, and keep up the good work, man.
All right,
pray for seasoned crawfish.
No. See, actually, that was actually most people say how we do it is wrong. You're not supposed to be putting season on top of it. It is supposed to be inside of it, and it is a difference. But anyway, continue.
So I'm gonna say this so that
I know you Texas, so it's different.
Pray for unbland crawfish.
That's not unbland.
Okay, I'm gonna say this so that Todd can say something. He chopped a bit to say something.
Oh, Sarge loading up the clip.
Right. So first of all, I love the deal. Second thing, in the news broke on Monday. We didn't have 2 days to glorify this deal, so ain't nobody crapping on Derek Stingley because he signed and had a press conference today. We gave him his props for 2 days. So signing Cam Robinson does not diminish the fact that this man got paid, and that whoever signed today don't stop them paychecks from on him, so he don't care. He got it paid.
Why would I listen to you? You the one that AD talking about eating unseasoned crawfish when you was in Indiana.
That is not the truth.
Damn.
I showed the white folks how to do barbecue.
You showed them, AD. He showed them.
I did my stuff when I was in Indiana. I showed them how we do it in Texas. I represent. Okay.
Well, you really weren't representing.
So go ahead and get shit off. So you like you showing the chest all out. So you say what you gotta say.
So you had them saying once they go black.
You know what? Don't go on a train with Sarge, okay? Don't get that boat with Sarge.
AD, what movie was that? Where was it Don't Be a Menace while drinking your juice in the hood, where the dude was like, and the brothers need to blah 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 blah, and then the white lady walked up and was like, yes, my princess,
my Nubian queen.
Don't get in that boat with him. You know,
hey, look,
for real.
All I want to say is this: is that one thing that I've talked about, not only on my show but on the Locked On Texas podcast, is that he deserved it. Derek Stingley Jr. deserved all the money that he got. And if you looked up if hard work was a person, then it'll be Derek Stingley Jr. He's one of these guys that I'll never forget. We were in Ohio, and I got a chance to talk to Derek one-on-one after one of the practices. And I had noticed the day before Derek had practiced, but he never took his helmet off. After practice, he never took his helmet off. Never. And it was hot that day. I'm talking about hot. And he never took his helmet off. So when I got a chance to talk with him about it, I said, Derek, you practiced for 2 hours yesterday and you kept your helmet on. And then that's the one thing that I started to notice about him, you know, as far as practices from that day forward, I kept noticing he kept his helmet on. But I said, Derek, you never took your helmet off. He said, no, because he said, the reason why I keep my helmet on is because all the plays that I didn't make are going through my head. He said, and so when I have my helmet on, I'm constantly thinking about what I could have done better, what I could have done on this play, what I could have done on that play. How did I get beat on this play? How did I get beat on that play? Where should I have been? Was I in the wrong spot? So he's just constant. Football is just constantly rotating in his mind. And so I'm happy for him, man. And I think, look, I in all honesty, I think he gave him a hometown discount. I mean, for Derek Stingley, he probably could have gotten way more money than that. And some of the money I think is a thank you to him also because of the way that he carries himself. And Kamari Lassiter emulates that, and Kalen Bullock emulates that, and he's setting an example for some of these younger players coming along. I got a chance to speak with him.
Leadership.
AD, I'm not going there with you. I'm actually
improving that
I'm not going there with you. And the only reason I'm not is because a lot of times people get highest paid and leadership mixed up. Just because you're the highest paid don't mean that you're the leader on the team. Daniel Jones was the highest paid at one point for the New York Giants. Do you think?
And you see what happened to him?
But a C on your chest does.
He had a C. Daniel Jones had a C on his chest as well. So hold on, let me finish. Jules, you just said that you gonna finish and then let me finish, right? Now, you ain't finna treat me.
Wait a minute.
Y'all
thought I was finished.
The woman of the house.
Bring up Daniel Jones like that was the biggest mistake of all time. Okay.
Yeah, so all I'm gonna say is this, right? All I'm gonna say is this, right? And I'm gonna use this as an example. In the military, when I was in the military, I had a lot of leaders in my unit that didn't say a word. Only thing they did was lead by example. You know what they constantly got done? They constantly were called out by the chain of command for what they done. And I'm saying to myself, I ain't heard this guy talk in 2 weeks. But anytime anything needed to get done, he's going out there getting it done, or whatever the case may be. So listen, I'm perfectly fine with nobody agreeing with me, but you know, unlike Jeremy Branham, I was actually there, and yeah, I'm taking a shot at Jeremy Branham because he decided to take a shot at me while he was on. He said just because Sarge is in the inside doesn't mean he's got inside information. How would you know, my guy? You're never inside anywhere. So, with that being said,
I heard that.
Derek, right? Like, but bro, have a conversation. In order to have a conversation with me, then you got to come to a Texans practice, at least a practice. OTAs, my guy. Rookie minicamp, something. Just come to something. As I digress, I don't want to take away from Derek Stingley like they did with the Cam Robinson thing. So I'm happy that Derek Stingley got his money.
That's how you feel about Thompson not showing up to mini camps, mandatory situation, training camps, preseason games. That's how we felt about him too.
You know, I just got one.
Lead by example.
We're not talking about the games. We talking about practice.
And it showed when he was trying to cheat.
Hey, so I got one
I'm quiet.
request. I know Sarge is talking about Jeremy Branham and showing up, you know, to practice and everything. I just request that, you know, since I feel like I'm an integral part, you know, as far as the community of the Big Sarge Media Corporation, and I'm asking, you know, where's my day pass to Texas practice? You know, when
Sarah gonna get it before you do, but
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. You gonna take the AD?
Woo!
On your podcast, on your platform, on your platform, AD.
Do y'all know what AD does when he come on my show? Do y'all see what he does? He wrecks the comments. White Mike, am I lying?
I mean,
hold on.
I haven't looked lately.
You getting the mics mixed up because the mic that be commenting all the time is racist goatee Mike.
Wait,
hold on. We don't all look alike, all right?
But Mike, so wait, hold on. No. So Mike, what you're saying is that you don't support the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show?
Oh, of course I do.
So that means
you gotta like, share, and subscribe.
So you know how AD is. Anyway, getting back to Derek Stingley. No, I'm really, in all honesty, y'all, I'm really proud of I'm really proud for Derek Stingley Jr., man. And it was, you know what the most exhilarating part from that press conference was today? The greatest part is watching his dad. Just look at him, man. Like just looking at him like, you know, my son has made it, but damn, he made it. Like he's made it. And so that was the best part. And he said that without his dad, he wouldn't be where he is. So, you know, like I said, I know I laugh, joke, play around, or whatever the case may be, but I'm really, really proud of Derek Stingley and what he's done. And, you know, it's one thing to hear him speak in front of camera. I don't think that does him justice because he really doesn't like talking in front of the camera. You know, but if you can pull him to the side and you say, "Hey, can I record you?" He'll tell you everything that you want to know and need to know.
So
he did very good with the pivot.
Oh, that's because his father was right there.
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna keep my
Now,
comments.
see, I got a comment. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep my comments to
Yeah.
myself.
We gonna love Derek Stingley, man. Derek
Love
Stingley,
him.
great,
Love
great,
him.
yeah.
Don't-
You know,
That's a great handler though. That's a great. My bad.
Romanus.
Mm.
Romanus said,
No, he not as old as Sarge.
No. He's saying me and Sarge both are PV graduates, you know, and how, you know, I
They
thought
sit together.
PV does produce productive people, and I
Mm.
just assumed
Mm.
that you would give the day pass to another productive Panther.
Mm.
AD.
But you
AD.
know,
Hold on. AD. Wait. AD. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
I'm just putting it out there.
Hold on. I'm
Putting it out.
gonna bring our off the record conversations on the record.
Mhm.
Hey, AD. Somebody be calling you, right? Somebody be letting you know, right?
Mhm.
Yee!
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
All right then.
Damn. All right, on the next agenda.
Hey. Mhm.
All right then.
But yeah, let's get to the beef because we got a lot to talk about. We need to get to this O-line talk with
Okay.
Exo. We brought the expert Exo in. So we can talk about the offensive line, the moves that they made, and the expectations going forward. You know, of course, signing Cam Robinson, does that change your draft plan? All of those different things. That's why we're having two parts. Because we're gonna talk about it next week as well, because the offensive line is the most polarizing topic, you know, in Houston Texans talk right now. And we'll have the other half of Locked On Texans next week with John Hickman coming on, giving his expertise on the offensive line as well. But me and Sarge got beef, man, because Laremy Tunsil, we've been having this debate for the last week and a half about Laremy Tunsil and his importance and the reasoning why Laremy Tunsil got traded. And Sarge is, you know, I'm gonna say this. Sarge is harping. I'm trying to say it correctly. He's harping on the fact that Laremy Tunsil was getting paid $25+ million a year to play left tackle for the Houston Texans, and that is the main source and reason why Laremy Tunsil got traded. Do you agree with that statement, Sarge?
I agree with everything you just said.
And so I'm gonna say this. I disagree. I disagree with that comment. And I'm of the belief that money shouldn't be an object, especially an obstacle, especially if this is one of the best tackles in the NFL and a pillar of your franchise. You don't trade away pillars of your franchise because of a dollar. If you want a guy to stay on your team, you make a way. You find a way. And that is my argument, is that Laremy Tunsil didn't get traded for money. Laremy Tunsil got traded because he's soft.
Amen.
Laremy Tunsil got traded because he's not who we all expected him to be. He's not a guy to take hold of Kenyon Green, grab him up, and say, YN, get your shit together. He's not.
How do you know that, AD?
You know why I know that?
Because you didn't see it.
Because I talked to his daddy.
Because you talked to who, daddy?
Henry.
I talked to Henry too.
Mm-hmm.
But he got a
What
person.
he say?
Huh? Look, I just talked to Henry. I talked to Henry too. I'm not because one of the things I won't do is I won't bring our Henry and our private conversation on here. And I mean, we two old men, so we be talking about fishing a lot too. But
God, man, that doggone catfish out there in that lake, you ain't got. I'm telling you, boy. No, I just, it's just the point of the expectations and the product on the field didn't necessarily live up to what he was paid. He was paid like a Panay Sewell, and he didn't perform like a Panay Sewell. He was paid, like a Lane Johnson, and didn't perform like a Lane Johnson. He was paid, You
And they saw that's the offensive line for the Detroit Lions.
Yes, the offensive tackle. Yes, the offensive tackle.
And Lane Johnson is the
starting offensive tackle
for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
What else is what else is along that Detroit Lions line?
A lot.
That's not it. It's the leadership part.
No, hold on, Swan. I'm talking to AD. I'm talking to AD. AD?
Yeah.
Do they have a lot of good offensive linemen in Detroit?
Yeah.
Do they have a lot of good offensive linemen do they have a lot of good offensive line in Philadelphia?
They had 2 or 3, yeah.
Do they have a very good offensive line coach in Detroit?
I don't know.
Okay, hold up. Okay, I'll give you one. So you go try to do that.
Do they have a very good? Do they have a very good offensive line coach in Philadelphia?
Oh,
the
yeah.
best.
The best.
Got the best. Well, I'll give you another one. I'll give you another one, Sarge. If you want to go there, he doesn't play like a Trent Williams, and they don't have a great
He
old
do
line
play like
coach.
Trent Richardson sometimes.
Well, I'll put it like this. What did that great offensive line do this year in San Francisco?
No. Hold up. No. When Trent plays, they play better. When he is not there, they play bad. The difference is whether Laramie is on the field or not, the old line doesn't look any much different.
Trent Williams is not the reason that the rest of the offensive line plays better.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, okay.
Well, I'm always gonna let me address this, AD. Let me say this to you, AD, because and you know, all y'all on the show, y'all know, y'all been knowing me for a very long time. Y'all know me. Y'all know I don't go on nowhere to flex unless I really don't like nobody. So if I don't like you, I'm a flex.
Sarge don't like us, y'all. I'm just telling you.
And look, if I
about to pull out a big flex right now.
if I don't like you, I'm gonna flex on you. But y'all know I like y'all, and so I'm prefacing my statement by saying this, AD. I get into this conversation from a place and a point of privilege because AD, I have the conversations with the other offensive players in the room, not just the offensive linemen. I'm in the locker room and I talk to these other players. No, Laramie isn't the rah-rah guy. Laramie isn't the snatch you up type guy. Laramie isn't that. But do you know who talks to Laramie on a consistent basis? CJ Stroud. Their lockers is right next to each other. You know who else talks to Laramie on a consistent basis? Jalen Petrie, because his locker is right next to him. They come to him and talk to him. Now, with that being said, and I said this before.
What do they talk about though, Sarge? Because I got a feeling him and Tunsil talk about pants situations.
Who?
See him and CJ talk about, the type of pants they need to go buy.
See, I'm trying to be serious. You trying to joke.
We are.
But I'm saying that to say this, that Laramie isn't a rah-rah guy. And don't get me wrong. I've went on my show and I've also said that Laramie, if Laramie had Kenyon's run blocking ability, he'd be an all-pro. But he does not do well at run blocking. He does very well at pass blocking, which is why you can't discount the fact that he only gave up 2.5 sacks, 2.5 out of the 67 sacks last year. When you go and I put it like this, when you even look at the last game against the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, hell, they brought Dalton Schultz over to his side, and Dalton Schultz messed up everything. He gave up 3 sacks coming off that side. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Laramie is the best offensive left tackle in the game. I'm not saying that. There are other, yes, because there are the others in the game that can do that. But
he can do
my thing is the narrative around him being, for the way that he dresses and he's not this and he's not that. What I'm telling you, AD, is when I say leadership, it's because I'm talking to other people about Laramie. I'm talking to other people about Laramie. And now this narrative about him having a C on his chest and what he's supposed to do. That's why I put that video out. Okay, he's a captain. He's an offensive lineman. Chris Strausser was supposed to be fired in the middle of the season, but the Texans don't do mid-season distractions like that. When D'Amico talks about one voice in the room, that's why Cole Popovich is your offensive line coach right now. Because when Cole Popovich went to Chris Strausser and tried to tell him about how to beat the stunts and the delayed blitzes, because where did Cole Popovich? Who did Cole Popovich learn from? You see what I'm saying? And so he told him, "Hey, I know how to do this." You know what Chris Strausser said? No, I'm going to do it my way. The same thing that he basically told us when we interviewed him. And so there's too many voices in the room on that side. And then you have the offensive lineman on this side. There was times, listen, let me tell you like this. You know that there was times that the offensive line was on two different pages. One side thought that they was doing this. The other side, that they got
to see it.
We saw it.
All 22, we saw it.
Right. And so what I'm saying, you know, is what game was that? Was it the you remember the Kansas City Chiefs game?
Which
in
one?
The divisional round? Shaq Mason gave up a sack, right?
Shouldn't have been in the game.
Yeah, I listen, I'm with you on that. I don't think he should have been in there either. But y'all remember that sack Shaq Mason gave up? I asked Shaq Mason after the game. I said, "Hey, bro," I said, "Hey, man, how you give up that sack, bro? You got beat pretty bad." Now I'm telling you how I talked to him. "Hey, man, you got beat pretty bad." He said, "I did, Sarge." He said, "It looks that way too, right?" He said, "But the calls was mixed up too, because I was on one call and they was doing something else." And that's what a lot of it went through. Like I said, in all seriousness, I'm not trying to look, I know that Laramie's deficiency is in run blocking. I also know that Laramie's getting older.
That's not a deficiency.
His kick step. Well, it is a deficiency. Well, you
no,
just
not. If you
just signed Cam Robinson, who has
hold up,
he's a bad run blocker.
I gotta interrupt this. I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt this because you doing is frustrating. And I love you.
That's cool. I'm telling you the truth, though.
I gotta say this because
okay.
Laramie has been in the league 9 years. 9.
He's been a Pro Bowler
not 2 years, not 3, not 4, 9. That is Laramie's rep. He's lazy when he comes to run blocking. It's not an inability to run block. He's lazy with it because we've seen him here and there do it. But that's the thing I saw with the O-line. And I'm not an O-line expert, but goddamn it, I know the difference between a motherfucker that continues to hold on to a block and get to the second level versus a guy who, I did my part. Oh, y'all didn't do y'all's? So his thing is, Laramie is talented. Pass rusher, yes. Run blocking, no. But my thing is, if you're not going to be a rah-rah guy, I need you to be able to lead by example. The constant goddamn false starting penalties, that is being undisciplined. If the goddamn cadence is off, you're too damn talented. Fuck it. You know what? Until I see that ball snap, I'm not moving.
Swan, he didn't get, it wasn't this year. It was the alignment, the new rule that was put in place for the offensive tackles. That's where Laramie got a lot of his false starts from in the beginning. But the first
nobody else in the league getting them goddamn penalties. Why is
Titus got him? Did Titus not get him too?
Like I said, but you know what?
Did Titus get him too?
But that's to me where he comes into play.
Offensive lineman we're talking about.
First 3 to 4 weeks, fine. You know what? We're trying to get some continuity. You can't have an O-line still doing the same shit. That don't make sense to me. That's not leadership. So let me go back. And football may be different than quote unquote corporate America, but I'm just going to say it point blank. You can have a title and be called a leader. However, if you don't demonstrate that, I cannot consider that good leadership. Just because I call you a leader don't mean you're a good leader. Doesn't mean that he is leading by example. I think all the guys in the locker room like Laramie. I'm not saying Laramie a bad guy. I am just saying he's a piss poor leader, especially with our young O-line. If I just need a guy out there to just do his job and not give a damn about anybody else, that's Laramie. But if I'm asking Laramie to help guide a young man pro, what Diggs did for, Nico and the rest of them, it looked like you could see some of that, okay? If I want to look at Robert Woods, when you had what's his boy, Noah Brown, you saw some sense of veteran leadership, and it showed on the field. I don't feel like Laramie thinks he has to do it, and he turned me off after the Vikings game. And this is a pet peeve I have. None of them took ownership of their mistakes. It was communication. Well, communication by whom? Referees. They're picking on us. Dude, this shit is you. Say it's me. Do like CJ, get up there. That was me. Even if it wasn't you. Do it, Mika. It was me. Maybe it wasn't you. Take the leadership. Take ownership. Take accountability. Because Titus got his ass on goddamn social media and was echoing that shit, and then he got off when folks kept flaming him, and it's like, oh, I'm not going to deal with it. So please stop saying he was a leader in the locker room. He was a friend in the fucking locker room.
I'm not, because I was there. I'm not.
No.
I'm not sworn.
No.
I'm not going to stop saying
his thing is, your idea of leadership and mine is, if I don't see the results on the field, I don't care what y'all say behind closed doors in the locker room.
Swan.
Bottom line.
Hey, so
doesn't
Sarge.
matter.
Hey, hold on, Swan. So Sarge, when you talk about Laramie's leadership skills and like overall Laramie's, I guess, effort in the O-line room, I'm different from the guys. I understand like what goes beyond like and what happens in the O-line meeting room, what happens in that. So can you speak to some of the things that that you say that it's not really a fault of Laramie, it's just like just the indifferences of what one might hope or one might think of what actually was done. Because I know you was in there, I know you actually had conversations, and I do believe that Laramie was a good Laramie was a leader. That though the people in this, I guess, on this podcast, how good of a leader that was is neither here nor there, but he was a decent leader. The issue now is yeah, the issue now moving forward is just like, was he the leader that the Texas is looking for now in this new era? And that's where I feel like where we can kind of meet at the middle ground. Yes, he might not have the best leadership skills that you would hope for the O line. To Sarge's point, yes, he was a good leader. He talked to the guys. All the guys were behind him, and because you got to understand that as a leader, you got to have the people follow you. People followed him and people believed in him, and he was able to lead by example to a certain extent. But the issue is the leadership that he was giving, the tutelage he was giving, the teachers he was giving, the team was just trying to go into a different path than what he was currently doing. And so that's where I want, and not me personally, I just think that's where the conversation should go versus I just don't like him as a person, or not even a person, I don't like him as a leader, I don't like what he did, versus just the fact that, hey, the team is just literally saying, hey, you, for what you did, it's great. 5 Pro Bowls, 4 Pro Bowls. You did a great job for what we needed you when you came into the team. But as of right now, we're just trying to go into a different path.
So a lot of what you're saying, Exo, I mean, that we can all agree on that. But a lot of what you're saying is an individual type of person. It's and my thing is that's what it comes off as when you say things like that, is that he's more about LT than he is about the team. And of course, behind the scenes, that's probably the exact opposite. But the way it comes off and the way it's presented is that he's a me first guy. Is that I'm just saying the way it comes.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that one. My thing is more so as though like the false starts and those pre-snap penalties, that's a selfish act. But to say that he's just a selfish player, he wasn't a good leader, that's a different conversation we need to have. He's selfish in his fact of like he wanted to get a faster set versus the other guys on the line. That's a selfish play over the course of time. The first two, the first four, I could give you that. But the other 15, the other 12, you kind of so because you know they're calling it on you. You know that's going to do. You know they have it out for you if they have it out for you. So it's up to you to adjust to that. You didn't adjust until mid-season. Then it got a little shaky there at the tail end of it right before the playoffs. So I just believe they just wanted to go in a different direction. Y'all hit it on certain points. Hey, I need you to be a raw guy. Hey, I need you to grab some of these players under your wings. Hey, I need you to be that tone setter in the room. We all know that is not a Laramie thing. If he was the number 2 guy, number 3 guy, maybe perfectly fine. But since he's the head guy, back to the point, the team is trying to go into a different direction in that room. I need my head guy to be that. I need my head guy to do that. And so just pointing on moving forward is just like that's just the case at hand.
I mean,
and giving it back to you.
Going back to Mr. Optimistic talking about he's a vet. He don't do anything extra. The praise you gave to Derek Stingley about him staying after practice, him doing the extra things, him being in the weight room already after signing a 3-year, $90 million extension. Not saying that Laramie doesn't keep himself up or do what he needs to do, but again, I've been to training camp and we've seen, even last year, this past training camp, Stephon Diggs staying after practice with, Derek Stingley and Tank Dell and Nico Collins and working with these guys and kind of giving them game. Whereas soon as that last horn go off, Laramie Tunsil is gone. Laramie Tunsil is not staying. He's not doing the extra. He's not doing, and that's the things you expect, because I can see Trent Williams doing that, staying after practice, helping the other guys, giving game to guys on the field, showing emotion. I know we don't see the side field, we don't see all that over there, but in public, if you do it in public, you do it in private. I'm the type of person, do what you do in private and public, especially when it comes to football. Now, I don't really know your face, because you got something. It sounded like you had a whole different tune or whatever, but it's just the point of, if you do it in public, I know for damn sure you're doing it in private.
Laramie was coming off of a surgery as well, right?
But it's not the first year. Previous year.
Last year he was coming off a surgery, right? Hey, can I ask you a question?
Which one? Because we need to nip it in the bud so we can talk about other things.
Well, I want to get to Exo's thing real quick, but
yeah.
Hey, what if I told you that towards the end of his time here with the Houston Texans, JJ wasn't practicing like that either? Would you believe that?
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
But we know, but we saw.
I just asked the question. I didn't. I ain't going into.
No, but you're comparing.
Hold on. And I'm gonna say this. That doesn't surprise me, and I never considered JJ an excellent leader. JJ was selfish as a player. JJ was an individual, and all he cared about was JJ Watt and what JJ Watt wanted to do. And he said all the right things in the media, but JJ Watt was not a leader of that team. JJ Watt was a very selfish player.
But he produced on the field.
Swan, Laramie Tunsil produced as well.
No, hold up. No.
So,
I'm saying this. Huh?
It's a true statement. Like, he produced on the field, but he wasn't the best leader.
Right, but I'm saying if you're gonna be the selfish guy, be the best goddamn selfish guy. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, he was in one facet of being an O-lineman. JJ pass protectors in the league. Just didn't run back the best.
Okay, so is that the only thing that we care about? Is that if you pass protect?
I just said, like, you asked him to be one of the best, right? He was one of the best at pass blocking. He was a middle pack at run blocking, and if his whole thing is the top 10 tackle in the league. Like, he produced. He just wasn't a leader. We're moving into an era of the Texas football where I need my best guy to be a leader as well.
Hey, Exo, can I answer your question?
Yeah, what's up, Big
Exo, I'm gonna say this. And to answer your question, I think that, so for me, this is just me. I think that the reason why it was time to move on from Laramie outside of the contract, because like a lot of people don't realize how much.
You're correct. The contract is a thing in this happening.
Yeah, how cash strapped the Houston Texans were before they started doing all this restructuring thing like that. Which is the one thing that I asked Nick Caserio at the combine is, how are you going to do that? And he says we're going to have some flexibility. So evidently he had something in mind. Now, AD, this is where I agree with you, and I've said this on numerous occasions. You can't pay him that amount of money if he's not going to be a good run blocker when you have a team that wants to run the ball. So no, you can't give him that amount of money, even though he has protected your franchise quarterback for the last 2 years and kept him upright, right? Kept him upright and not allowed him to be hit like that, right? Not to be sacked like that, to know that he could drop back and do what he needs to do. But by the same token, you know, if it's 3rd and 2, I need to run to the left side too, and I do need my highest paid offensive lineman to do that. I need you to do that. So that's what I'm saying, Exo. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have moved on from Laramie Tunsil. And like I said, even I said this on the show, I wish Laramie, I think the one mistake that he made is that he did not speak enough. He did not speak enough to the media. He did not talk enough to the fans. And so when you don't do that type of stuff, when people don't hear your voice and you leave it up to other people to hear your voice, to be the voice for you, then you leave it up to interpretation. Now, me and AD, we go back and forth, but I never said that I didn't respect AD's opinion on it. I didn't say I didn't respect Swan's opinion on it. I do. I respect y'all opinions on it. Do I have a different opinion? Of course, because it's different for me. But I'm with you. I said that exact same thing. It's just like, hey, Laramie not getting it done on run blocking. So what are you going to do? Which, and I know you're trying to nip this in the bud, AD, but that's what I'm saying. If you're going to move away from him, right, because he's not the leader of this, that, and the other, then you got to go out and get somebody else that is, you know, may not be as effective in pass blocking, but has that balance of good pass blocking, good run blocking. And signing Cam Robinson, to me, is not that. Cam Robinson may be the raw guy that you need. Ed Ingram may be the raw guy that you need. But at the end of the day, Ed Ingram got benched for inefficiency. Kevin O'Connell said that out of his mouth. He was ineffective. I benched him for being ineffective when we went with this other guy after week 10. When you look at Cam Robinson, his play went. Listen, I just read this out. When he was with the Jags in 4 seasons, he was ranked 19th, 29th, 16th, and 33rd as an offensive tackle. And then, don't get me wrong, Jacksonville is a toxic place. It's very toxic. And so maybe a change of scenery was needed. I mean, you're talking about a team that had Tim Tebow as a tight end, as a prop. You had a coach in Urban Meyer who couldn't keep his hands to himself, and you have a culture that's just not a winning franchise. So cool, you get him up out of there because Minnesota loses their left tackle. He goes to Minnesota. He gets there, and at first he's doing great, but as time went on, he became bad, and that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna go, I would have rather them draft the offensive tackle, a left tackle, or put Laramie at left tackle and put Titus at left tackle and then try to find you a left guard or something like that. I just don't understand the Ingram, Thomason. Okay, cool. I don't understand the Cam Robinson signing.
And that's a great transition.
Yeah, it's excellent. Go ahead, Exo. Talk about Cam, because I know you have your reservations with Cam as well.
Yeah, like I said on the space earlier, this sign is kind of questionable to me. If we're penciling in as the starter, it's just interesting to see because he's not the best tackle. As I said in the space earlier, it's very slim pickings as well for the tackles just like available. So they didn't have, I guess, the best to go through this year. All the good guys already got signed up, and then all the guys got signed up, and so you just left with like Tristan, Jared Willis, him. So I'm like, I'm about to pull up the list, but it just didn't. I don't see how this can elevate the line in itself. But like we said in the spaces, shout out to the group chat. We're we don't need the best guys for this year as well. And two, we are changing the identity of the O line. Three, we're building, I feel like, the O line inside out moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then also this is a stopgap player for 1 year, $11 million. We've seen what Blake can do. We see what Titus can do. We're going to insert this guy in to compete for a spot. We already pointed out that he's played 101 or 110 games in the NFL, all of them being at left tackle. So this guy's going to be competing for one of the tackle spots. We restructured Titus, so he's now not one of the higher paid tackles. He's just a highly paid O lineman. So he can be anywhere from the inside to the outside. So it provides them flexibility. And so, can we survive the year with Cam if he's a starter? And that's my biggest reservation. Like, are we penciling him as the starter at left tackle, or are we going to have a competition there, and whoever is the best or whoever can do the best is the guy? And so, if we have all of those situations, I feel like this could be all right, but I still have my reservations of like, all right, what are we doing with the tackle position? Is it this going to be a rookie? Is this going to be somebody else? I just don't know. Cam is not. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I get you. For me personally, I feel like they're moving away from highly talented players that don't fit to lesser talented players that may fit and coexist as a unit. And I think that's been the problem with the Texans O-line, not this past few years. It's been a problem with the Texans O-line since Bill O'Brien days 10 years ago and 10 plus years ago. And it's that the cohesive unit that the offensive line they've not played like a cohesive unit for 10 plus years. And
facts.
Bringing in guys like a Cam Robinson and Ed Ingram who played together in Minnesota, who's probably going to run a similar, telling us that we're going to run a scheme similar to what they're doing, what KOC is doing in Minnesota. Is just the point of bringing guys that fit together as a unit. Yes, they're not the most talented, and that's the thing that I think people don't realize. The Texans had an extremely uber talented offensive line room. You had a second round pick in Juice Scruggs. You had a guy who was highly touted in college in Jerry Patterson. You had a first round pick, all American, everything in Kenyon Green. You had a first round pick in Titus Howard. You had, perennial Pro Bowl player in Laramie Tunsil. You had a highly touted guard in Shaq Mason. And, you can keep talking about the room. The talent was there. And I kept saying it all last year. The talent wasn't there. Something's missing. The talent wasn't the issue. The issue was that they're never playing like a unit. It's like they're playing like five individuals trying to do well or master their craft as individuals and not playing as a unit. I think the best offensive linemen play as a unit. That's why Philly is so great. Yes, they have the best offensive line coach. They have talented players as well. But you can take a guy who was the Kenyon Green of the New York Jets and Mekhi Becton, bring him into that situation and make him play as a unit player, and he becomes successful. He becomes a better player. So it's just the point that now, yes, it doesn't make sense on paper, but let's hold off a lot of reservations until we see the final product, because no telling what they do in the draft. Like we've talked about before many a times, Nick Caserio is going to do everything he possibly can to be able to draft best player available when it comes in the draft.
Can I ask you a question real quick, AD?
Mm-hmm.
If you see that change, though, and it happens this year, and it happens and they learn how to move as a cohesive unit, they learn how to move as one, is that the credit? That credit has to be given to Cole Popovich, right? And if that's the case, with everything that you just said, them not moving this to another, I also just believe that it also has a lot to do with the coaching.
Absolutely,
Because
no, it's a combination of both. You would say, Nick, getting the type of players that Popovich and Kaylee are looking for, the type of players, as well as them being able to put that unit together. So it's not one thing, and the players wanting to do it. So to me, it's not just one thing where you could say it was Strausser, because I mean he is a big factor. Slowick played a big factor. The players played a big factor. It wasn't one person by themselves. It was all of it. So to me, if they play well this year, I'm giving credit to Nick. I'm giving credit to Popovich. I'm giving credit to Kaylee, and I'm giving credit to the guys.
I'm like I said, I'm just asking because, like, of
Why
course,
wouldn't all of them get credit?
You're gonna see a difference. So what I'm saying is that, and what I'm trying to say is that if we do see that, then maybe if that would have happened, you would have made replacements to the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach last year. It could have been different. That's all I'm saying, is that, you know, at some point, yes, the players are responsible. Like, they are the ones on the field. They are the ones, they have to be held accountable. All of them have to be held accountable. But, you know, you bad coaching will lead you into a brick wall as well. Right. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they got rid of Bobby, they got rid of Strausser, and so you get some fresh air in the room, because and look, I know how it is. Don't get me wrong. I have been covering this team long enough to know.
Are you saying that room was funky?
All I'm gonna say is this: I've been covering this team long enough to know that if the Texans start off 4-1, or if they start off 5-0, I can hear all of the, see, that's why we didn't need Laramie. See, that's why we this, that, and other. And I was like, what if it's just the culture and the plays that are being run? What if it's the different system? And, you know, I seen somebody put this up real quick about what if, you know, Kaylee can scheme these guys into doing whatever it is. Like, I can see that, but I can see that. I just need to see it. I can't put that much faith in Kaylee just yet, because I've never seen him do. Right. I've never seen him call offensive plays.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask this question, Sarge. So, if you had replaced, because trust me, I did want to replace mid-season, you would not have. Who was going to replace them? Because you wasn't going to go out and hire from the outside an OC. So Popovich would have been there, and you would have probably given it to Gerard or Bill Lazar or whoever. You wasn't going to get anybody, so you still would have probably been worse trying to change, bring somebody in, because there's no time to change your scheme or anything. You'd have been rolling with what you got.
If they would have,
my question is that, let's say if you think it was the coaching, then to me, you would have kept the players saying, guess what? I know the players, it's not them, it's coaching. The fact you got rid of 3 of the 5 starters tells me they don't think it was strictly coaching. They felt
I didn't say that. Both. No, I didn't say it was strict. And hold on, I don't want to hog the mic, because Exo, you was about to say something.
No, I'm gonna let y'all. I gotta hop in whenever y'all done with this point.
No, I'm go ahead, man.
I'm saying that. So if you come in and they look better, and he ain't getting beat up like he was, he can step into his throws. I am gonna sit back and say, damn, you know what? National pundits and everybody said that we were crazy for letting him go, and look what happened. You damn right I'm beating my chest and say, damn, this looked good. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Popovich. Yes, I am. I'm gonna say, damn, we didn't need Laramie. I'm one of them.
But my thing about that is just like coaching is very, very, very important for the offensive room. It's a lot of technique and it's a lot of repetition, and you need a guy in there to hold a certain standard and teach us certain nuances of things. So yes, coaching will affect the overall play of the offensive room. Play calling will affect the overall effect of the offensive room. And so those 2 factors have to be, case in point, factored in. Then comes the player point that y'all trying to bring up. Certain players probably just didn't fit, a la Shaq Mason, a la Kendrick Green, Kenyon Green, a la
And Kendrick Green.
and Kendrick Green, yeah, because he's not here no more, and then a la Laramie Tunsil. So I know we all said the statement, subtraction is addition by subtraction. So if we remove these players, change up how we coach certain things up, make more things more intensive, you can get an overall better play out your O line. So yet two things can be true is what I'm trying to get at. So the question I was bringing up is basically going back to the point of like who was available, um uh other than Cam Robinson, because my
I wanted George
reservations
Fant.
for yeah, George Fan was an option. I'm not that big of a fan of George Fan as others. I know he worked 2 years ago. That doesn't mean he was going to work this year. My biggest thing is was the fact that like I didn't know Joseph Noboom was available, the starting tackle for the Rams. He's currently available at 29 years old, and we took one of their coordinators from the Rams over here, and yet I don't know if we tried to get him in the room, or did we have to settle for Cam Robinson? Did we try Jared Willis, or did we try to get a Trent Brown or somebody else like that in here? Like, what made us land on Cam Robinson? Because everybody looks at Cam Robinson. I'm not a big fan of PFF, but people use that as a judging factor. I like to watch the film, like, but film or PFF, Cam Robinson just doesn't look like a guy. So bringing him in, that's my reservations. Like, why him of all tackles? Why that guy? And then why pencil him in as a starter?
I think this is my thing also. With everybody saying pencil him in as a starter, and everybody saying you don't pay him $12 million to come in and be a backup. If he gets beat out, he gets beat out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, competition is competition.
A la Henderson and Okuda last year with Kamar
Right.
Lassiter.
Exactly. So you don't. I mean, we paid them the $10 million for two corners, and neither one of them played and had a rookie start over them. So
Rockets just won an 8 game in a row.
yeah, shout out Houston Rockets.
That's what I was gonna say.
116-108
No.
beating Orlando Magic. Jalen Green had another fabulous game as well. Alperen Sengun, another double-double as well. Had a really good game. So shout out Houston Rockets. Jabari as well. Steven Adams played crucial minutes as well. We'll talk about that on the Rockets podcast on Sunday. With Big Sarge. As we go. But again, I'm losing my train of thought. Damn, Sarge. Talking about it as well with Cam. You're talking about Cam and the fit. I don't
It's
know.
more so like why him out of all the available. So
Yeah.
right now I'm looking at the list. They had Joseph Noboom, Tyron Smith, Jedrick Willis, Trent Brown, George Fant, and then the list just drops to
How
Kenneth
old is
Brown.
George? How old is George Fant?
He's 33.
Okay. How old is Tyron Smith?
35,
And
34,
he got
about to be 35.
Tyler Smith got bad back issues.
You can't say
Yeah.
No Tyron Smith.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just
Of
reading down
course,
the
we
list.
know that.
I'm just reading down the list of available
okay.
tackles.
Hold on. Then we can't do no Cowboys. No.
Yeah,
No, I'm
give
just
me that,
saying
give me
this.
that.
I mean,
Then you had Jedrick Willis, Trent Brown, George
So
Fant, Kendall Lamb.
Jedrick Willis. How old is Jedrick Willis?
He's 25.
He's 25, but he has an injury history, right?
Yeah, he just didn't pan out with the Browns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Brown ain't been good since he left the Patriots.
I mean, I don't think he was that great with the Patriots.
No. I mean, somebody. I'm just saying that
he was only decent there. Anytime he went somewhere else,
that's the only place he was. When he left there, he became ass.
But Swan and Mike, that's to the point of like this whole Cam Robinson signing.
You're
we're just
picking
signing.
ass.
We're not even picking that. We're just picking decent players. We're not picking anybody great. We just need somebody good or decent.
That's the point. Hold on, Swan. That's the point I wanted to make.
Okay.
Is that it's always going to be a disappointment because you're replacing a great player, a good player. Damn, lost Exo. We were replacing a great good player with a lesser player. So there's going to be a disappointment with that sentiment of he's just a guy, he's just a dude. Well, you coming from a Pro Bowl left tackle. Could be all pro, talented, super uber talented left tackle. So yes, the feeling is, damn, why him? You're gonna ask that question, why him? So that's just the drop off of talent, regardless of who it was, because you could have got Jedrick Willis, and then the question would have been, why him? He's 25 years old. Why he didn't work out with Cleveland? What's wrong with him? And then you're gonna look at the tape. He didn't have great tape. And then of course, Cam Robinson is what, 30, 29, 30?
Yep.
And so it's just a 1-year contract, and and honestly, it's a prove it deal. It's a Nick Caserio special. It's what he does with these guys. He wants to get them in to prove it and show that they can play. And if not, you can cut bait with them. It's just 1 year. I think the plan is that if Cam Robinson doesn't work out, you still have Titus Howard and you still have Blake Fisher. You still have those guys that can play tackle. And then again, like Exo was saying earlier, I think they're more focused on building the inside out and maybe drafting a tackle with the first top pick next year. Or maybe there's a team, and I said it before on the spaces, maybe there's a team, or not the spaces in the text chat, maybe there's a team that wants to be like the Texans and wants to get off of a high dollar tackle or a tackle that's top tackle or whatever, because they're trying to reset their offensive line. And the Texans could be in play for that next year.
Can I say this real quick, AD?
Go ahead.
And plus, I got to get ready to go.
Yeah. We all got to get ready to go.
I got to spend time with my wife, and I done 3 shows in a row. So I got to go spend time with her. AD, can I say this?
Tell the wife I said, hey.
All right. Here's my question though, because some of the things we keep saying about, maybe they're doing this to wait till next year. Maybe they're doing this to wait till next year. Like the clock is ticking for the next 3 years for DeMeco Ryans. And I'm going to say the reason why I'm telling you that the clock is ticking for the next 3 years for DeMeco Ryans is because he's going to be a victim of his own success because of what he's done in the last 2 years, by where he's gotten his team the last 2 years. But they've gotten rid of Bobby. Bobby used up the excuse 2 years, the rebuilding 2 years. You may get one, maybe 1.5 next, but this team is going to start looking at, okay, so if we're winning, but we need to take that next step, because if we're going to give CJ this amount of money, if we're going to give Will this amount of money, but the best we can do every year is the divisional round of the playoffs, that's not going to fly, and that's not going to cut it. And so Nick Caley is DeMeco Ryans' hire. He's Nick Caserio's hire. And if it doesn't pan out, I put it like this: the only reason Nick Caley should be leaving the Houston Texans is to take a head coaching job. If he's fired in 2 years, the organization is going to say, now, wait a minute now. Y'all fired Bobby after 2 years. Now y'all fired this guy after y'all fired Nick Caley after 2 years. Now y'all want us to bring in another offensive coordinator. Y'all want us to put
time to go.
Y'all want to put CJ in another offensive system. Like the clock is ticking. So I get what you're saying. I even talk about it when the amount of money that they're going to have in 2026 and things like that. And there's not going to be any good wide receivers out there. But with that being said, though, like the clock is ticking, so they can't keep deferring until next year, and then the year after that, and then the year after that, because Hannah gonna be like, hey, how many more years y'all need? How many more next year? Yeah, how many more years do you need? And so
I will say this, and I know you're talking about CJ and Will getting their money and their paper. Let me say this: the bank of Stroud and the bank of Anderson will always be open. That $100 million that they gonna get, that money is gonna be pushed down the road, and I will be happily to kick that CJ Stroud can down the road as long as possible. That Will Anderson can down the road as long as possible. I will be I hear you, so I will be gladly to do what Cleveland is doing with Deshaun Watson and giving him that guaranteed money up front and lowering that cap number by $50 million every year and opening up that cap space and doing what the New Orleans Saints do every year and magically be $100 million over the cap and magically be under the cap when the league years start every year, I'm perfectly fine with that and finding ways to keep improving the team. The Bank of Stroud and the Bank of Anderson, I don't mind dipping into that.
Hey, Jules, where you been? Eating potato salad with raisins in it?
I thought you was about
Crazy.
to say something.
Oh,
Craziness. You on mute?
You on mute.
we can't even
Y'all
hear you,
muted.
buddy.
Oh,
We can't
you
hear
been doing that? I read your lips. That's what you been doing. You should have did
Oh,
No, what I've been doing for you, I've been
should've
doing
did
watch,
this.
listen to talk about bullshit about a player that's been gone for down that week, and we still in
Hold
the same conversation.
oh, you
No.
mean that we talk more about Thompson and Sting? We let
Oh,
him. We talk more about Thompson and Sting. You know that ain't that kind of what you know.
That's what Big Sarge talking about earlier.
Yeah, he said you know.
Sling Day,
So
but
you
we had
let
the whole
Thompson
podcast
take
about
away from
Larry
Sting.
Thompson.
Fine.
Hey, AD, I'm gonna need you as the moderator and as the host of this. I'm gonna need you to regain control and make sure you tell
Hilarious.
Swan and Jules that that's not what we've been talking about. Way more other things than that.
So, you know, the proof is in the pudding. Y'all, everybody knows what we've been talking about.
Hey, Sarge, not gonna
No.
lie to you. I know we're joking, but you pointed out something I hope you can kind of speak to about the life cycle of a coach or a GM in the league. You got one you have one coordinator firing, and you have one GM restructuring before they fire the coach. For the GM, you have 1 to 2 coordinator firings, then you got a head coach firing and rehiring before they fire you as a GM. So you have to understand that, like to his point, D'Amico's on the not the hot seat, but D'Amico's on the clock now.
Hey,
D'Amico's on the clock now.
I said it before. D'Amico got that seat warmer. You know they got the high and low settings on that seat warmer. It's on low.
It's on a little low.
Yeah,
But
it's chilly outside. I'm just getting my ass a little, knocking the
just
chill off.
on this topic alone, but wouldn't Nick be seat be a little hotter than
Yeah,
Nick
I'm gonna
right
say
now?
D'Amico ain't going nowhere.
D'Amico saved Nick's job.
Right. So
D'Amico ain't going nowhere.
Wouldn't
He'll
Nick
get
do your
his
job
next guy.
more than Heat than
But like
Ryan?
to Sarge's point, he's on notice. I
Mhm.
fired your coordinator. You got 2 things left before they fire you. A GM
GM,
or
and then your
another.
ass is Nick.
Right,
You
but I'm saying
Nick.
it's because Nick is on his third head
But
coach.
Nick,
Mhm.
but that's what we're saying, Swan.
Yeah,
and
I get
nobody's saying that Nick Casario's seat ain't hot, because we need to go ahead and wrap it up.
Mhm.
Because
And
we're gonna come back next week with
for
John
the
Hickman.
prospects.
Yeah, and talk about the prospects and what we currently have on the roster.
I can't
with
do it,
regard to-
John. I can't do it.
But Nick Casario for damn sure seat is hotter. Nick
Hot as shit.
Casario's seat been hot. He been cooking. His ass been cooked. That's why he ain't got nothing.
He was scared at the beginning of the year. I will
but
do anything for D'Amico. If I have to
I don't even
Nick
think
Casario
D'Amico
was damn near crying in that press conference because he knew he was damn near out the door before D'Amico got hired. So it's just the point of, yes, Nick Casario's seat is hotter, but Nick Casario can be fired that year, and if D'Amico has another average season, he can be gone the year after. So we can say D'Amico ain't going nowhere, hometown boy, but at the end of the day, results matter.
as long as
This is
stadium,
a result.
as long as that merchandise is being sold and the stadium is sold out,
This is a result.
D'Amico ain't going nowhere.
This is a
I
result.
disagree on that one though.
I understand what you're saying, and I understand Cal is somewhat different than his dad in a way. But as long as you got the sellouts, as long as that priority list is what it is, and merchandise is what it is, as long as CJ and Will are here and they're still selling out.
So this is the thing, Swan. The selling out the stadium and selling the merchandise didn't stop them from firing Bill O'Brien.
But there was a difference. Players wanted him fired.
That was terrible.
Look,
there was a difference in coming and
selling
starting
out the stadium.
Hold up.
And selling merchandise didn't stop him from firing Gary Kubiak.
Hold up. You traded DeAndre Hopkins but I'm saying is it's not.
I'm counting your point that just because you sell out the stadium and you sell crazy merchandise does not diminish the fact that it's a results-based league. And if you're not, this team is built to
On
win a
leadership.
Super Bowl. On leadership by CJ Stroud, not Larry Tunsil. And they're built on leadership. They're built to win a Super Bowl. And if you don't accomplish that goal or even get close to that goal, I don't give a damn how much the fans love you. You ain't producing. You got to go.
Speaking of got to go, I got to go.
See how I segue?
Right, Jules. I hope you enjoy your key lime pie, whatever it is, your fruit
Key lime
salad
pie.
that
Apple
y'all
pie
be
is nice
eating.
too.
Huh?
Because you got sliced too over there too.
Yeah, look, hold on. Mine is half Mexican.
It don't matter.
So, so I'm getting flour tortillas.
And
so you get tres leches. So you get tres leches.
And so
for sure, right? My got seasoning.
You get that poncho red flag.
My got seasoning.
Hey, but I want to shout out.
I ain't talking about
I want to shout out Big Sarge. I want to shout out Exo. Exo, where can we find you and follow you?
Am I following you, Exo, on because I dang sure need to follow it.
Oh,
you can find Exo on the Exo Intro on Twitter, as well. Sarge, where can we find you and follow you? I'm gonna give you that opportunity
again.
Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because we do everything for the gram. And make sure you subscribe to the Locked On Texas podcast. And make sure you subscribe to the Locked On Texas YouTube page. Jules, it was good seeing you again. White Mike,
take over the trap.
Hey, look, White Mike, don't be a stranger.
Hell you ever say nothing.
Hey, look, White Mike, don't be a stranger now the DEI is gone. And Swan, I always got love for you. Hey, Swan, they about to have a little something in that team starting in April, right?
Okay. What part of April? Beginning, the middle, before the draft?
Starting April 7th.
Thank you.
You're a season ticket holder, right?
Absolutely. 30%.
I was debating if I wanted to join the Texans.
But I am a little upset about the hat.
I didn't know you wanted this one. I would have gave it to you.
We talked about the hat.
Hold on. Hey, I'm talking about that offline. Shout out to my co-hosts, Jules, Mike G, Swan. Appreciate the over 700 people watching us live. Go ahead.
Can I say one more thing before I leave?
No, because I'm about to sign off.
Bro, I showed me. I ain't gonna even lie, bro. I miss Chris doing his time, bro.
Yeah, I missed
that draft time, bro. That draft time was his time. Even if he would fall asleep on the spaces, him and Swan. But I really miss Chris, man, and I'm glad.
I may have to do one just for old time's sake.
Like, I just want to tell y'all that y'all do an amazing job, man. I make sure that I try to catch as many shows as I can. The other night, when we were going back and forth, I was literally in the Rocket stairwell. I stopped in the stairwell so I could, talk back and forth to y'all. And man, I really appreciate y'all having me. I'm glad that I was able to come on, and I want people to realize and understand. Hey, look. It may sound like we going at each other, this, that, and other, but it's all out of love. That's all. It's all out of love.
Yeah,
for sure. And AD, I see your crazy horn ass tomorrow. Take your blue pill after the show, not before the show. But you know what I'm talking about tomorrow, right?
Before and after.
You know what I'm talking about tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, hey, next man up, it should be Jalen Petrie that get extended.
I disagree.
Oh, hey, yeah, no, hell no.
You disagree with Henry Toa, so I don't want to hear your.
I don't think you can afford him. I think you can replace him with draft pick.
On that note,
y'all just said the cap wasn't real.
On that note,
pick a side.
Who, me?
No, he's talking to me.
No, not you, Sarge.
Tell him White Mike.
That ain't real. It's real.
Tell him White Mike since January 20th. You can't say nothing, but your woman can, but not you can't say nothing to Mike.
I'd rather extend.
Yvonne say Petrie should be extended.
Just saying Jay Petrie.
It's because he should be. Don't mean he will be. At the end of the day, appreciate everybody for joining the H-Town Rundown. This is your boy
Isaiah Simmons. That's who he is.
We will see y'all next week when we finish talking about the rest of the offensive line. And we'll see y'all when we see y'all, man. Peace.
Peace.